YouTube, and boom, there's Twitch, and there's Kick. Let's lower OBS. My Twitch screen over here. Oh, look, Little Me is live. And yay. Boom. Where'd it go? There it is. Alright, so this is the outline for Drowning, Book 2, Chapter 5.5 that I wrote up yesterday. Take that, put that all the way over to the side. File. New blank document. Bring that over to this side. Bam. And the save icon. We're going to call this. I really got to stop calling them Book 2. I should be calling them Drowning, Rising Tide. Book 2. Right now, this is the order that I have them in. Chapter 5.5. Drowning, Rising Tide. And I want to keep it organized in the new folder that I have for it. Bam. Bam. Alright. Could still be asleep. Okay, I gotta use one. Okay. this is how I usually write. It's just one big-ass paragraph without much consideration for breaks. And this is one of the things where ChatGPT really helps me, because I'll just take this when I'm done, pop it in there, and it'll start dividing everything up. And granted, it does overkill on that, but it puts it in a format that allows me to look at it line by line by line when I do a copy and paste of it. And hopefully this new chat that I've started, I don't even have it up right now, but when I get to it, should remember, because the first thing I said is do not write for me. And it should just like restructure shit. And it makes some weird word choices. I do use AI, but I do not generate text. I don't make AI slop. Apparently my wife found a book last night that was just AI slop. Didn't make sense. Weird word choices. And then the last couple of chapters were like it was trying to start new books. I don't like that. I don't like it just being like the very early morning part of the day. I want the morning to be started a little bit. I think that's what I want. I don't want it to be sunrise. I like that analogy, but it doesn't work. Mojo, please stop. Mo, knock it off. Stop. Stop. You're a bad boy. Knock it off. Meow. Meow. I feel like this is already too much. Like exposition. Mojo. Stop. Stop. I know, you need some time to be out and be frustrating. Just move. Move back to bed. Hopefully that helps him calm down. Just let him run loose a little bit. Garrett, yeah. It's only 500 words of just meh spiel. Oops. It's psychologically devastating for workers to constantly be told they're being replaced by AI paper fines. Well, no shit. Mojo, don't eat salt. Come here, buddy. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Hi. Hi. Good boy. Good boy. Hi. Hi. Hello, bunny. Hello, my bun. I gotta get your nails done, don't I? Yeah, they're long. They are long. This one's short. These are long nails. Those are long nails. It's time to get you in and get them done. Hi, hey, buddy. Hi. Hello. Hello, my bun. Good, this is a strong staging already. You've achieved exactly what you wanted. Intimate, aching carryover from Arista chapter. Immediate tonal whiplash when he enters the chaos. A visual tableau will absorb clutter. Now I'll give you structural feedback, redundancy checks, and tightening suggestions without rewriting for you. Hello. Hello. I'll put you down. Yep, I'll put you down. I'll let you get down yourself. Okay, here you go. Good boy. You a little mad now? You a little mad? Yeah. This is excellent thematically. Sleeplessness, Arista silence, dominance, physical ache, sexual frustration as political punishment, dutiful sun mask. You're stacking a lot of sensation at once. Yeah, you have spine ache, half-drunk fog, burning madness, pent frustration, punishment, repression, dutiful resolve, all in one paragraph. It's not bad, but it's dense. That's what I do. I write my shit dense. Pick one physical metaphor and let it dominate. Right now you have spine, fog, burning, hunger, compression, decompression. That's 5 body metaphors competing. If you simply simplify it to physical stiffness, hunger beneath restraint, it will read cleaner and feel sharper. This is where I trust you to help with paragraph breaks and grammar checks. Without showing you how the chapter can be better organized without adding text, just refining what I give you. Perfect. I'll refine structure paragraph. Paragraph inclarity and minor grammar without adding new content or altering meaning. Below is your text reorganized for pacing, clarity, and cleaner rhythm. Okay. So yeah. I adjusted so you can learn the pattern. Paragraph rhythm broke up the opening emotional blocks so each beat breathed, separated the peace and quiet line for punch, gave each major visual shift its own paragraph, minor grammar tweaks, added hyphen to side eye, adjusting comma placement for flow, slightly cleaned, decompressed from its bent respite so it reads smoother without changing your phrasing, changed from a room instead of a room. Paragraph now moves like this: internal tension, physical fatigue, suppression intent, contrast lines, social chaos revealed, visual tableau, political absence. It reads cleaner while preserving your voice. If you like next, we can tighten the Garth description so it preserves future emotional hurt, or move into the chaos dialogue section and refine its structure the same way. Boom. It added a couple words, it looks like. I was at 445, now it's at 449. Well, what are you getting into? You chewing on this just couch? Yeah, that's what you're doing. Hey, buddy. I feel like this is going to need a lot of work in the edit to get it set up right, but it's a decent first page. Now they say 45 minutes and 500 words is a good time to take a break. I'm going to see if I can't get at least another 500 words in on this. Use a critique of what I have so far. Is it consistent, well written? Where do I risk reader fatigue? And do I need to paint the scene more with details? Be honest but precise. Consistency, tone, thematic balance. You said this chapter should feel socially chaotic, almost silly, cathartic relief after the intimate philosophical tension, but uncomfortable on a second read. You are hitting the tonal shift. This does feel lighter. The chaos of Belaine bossing Jocelyn, Galen lecturing about fungi, the pomaded nephew, the medicinal debate, all that works as tonal contrast to the prior chapter's restrained Hamlet-like tension. The pacing is quicker, the dialogue is sharper, the stakes appear smaller. That's correct. Where it's subtly brilliant. The inherited shame detail about the hair, that's not silly, that's generational tragedy disguised as observation. That's exactly the kind of thing that makes the second read uncomfortable. You're layering thematic continuity beneath tonal shift, that's strong craft. Where it's slightly inconsistent, Garrett interiority dips out almost completely once the room chaos begins. Given that the previous chapter centered on his restraint, his concern for Garth, his hurt, it may feel slightly abrupt that he becomes mostly observational. Now, this can be intentional. If the chaos is drowning out his internal life, that's effective. But if that wasn't intentional, readers may feel like his emotional thread paused too hard. Right now, it's borderline, not wrong, just thin. Prose quality. Overall, you are strong with rhythm and voice. But you have two tendencies that will cause fatigue long term. Long, multi-action sentences. Yup, I do that a lot. Example, as she approached Garrett, sensed something was off as her wide smile tugged into a frown for a fleeting moment and her brows bent as though strained. This was cleaned, but structurally you tend to stack actions without pause. You like clause, action, modifier, secondary, emotional interruption. It's stylistically fine, but repeated too often it becomes breathless. The clean version reads much better. This is not a talent issue, it's a discipline issue. Tightening sentences improves you dramatically. Descriptive emphasis on physical traits. You focus on obesity, hair texture, grooming, skin condition. This is vivid, but if repeated across scenes, it may begin to feel like characters are defined by surface. You do best when physical description connects to theme, like the inherited hair shame. When it's thematic, it's powerful. When it's just visible detail, it risks redundancy. Reader fatigue risks. Here are the three main risks to this kind of chapter. What? Meow. Social chaos works best when there is a hidden narrative vector beneath. Right now the scene has movement, but what is the directional engine? Is it the curse spreading, Garrett realizing something is wrong, political undercurrent? If it's only chaos for chaos' sake, fatigue will set in quickly. If it's chaos masking danger, you're golden. Too many named personalities at once. I do that a lot too. That's one of my biggest struggles when it comes to trying to keep this organized. So Jocelyn, Belaine, Galen, Gregarious 2, Corvin, the Orc, Garrett. A lot of active presence in one room. It works because they're distinct, but if everyone continues speaking at once without rhythm control, readers will start skimming. Oh yeah. You want to alternate chaos burst, moment of clarity, chaos burst. But right now this excerpt is still readable, but extended too long it will tire. Comedy without escalation. If the humor repeats instead of escalates, readers disengage. You want each ridiculous interaction to worsen the situation, not just repeat absurdity. If Jocelyn's rash is curse-related, that's excellent escalation. If Elaine's confidence is wrong, that's excellent escalation. Escalation prevents fatigue. Do you need more scene painting? Short answer, no, but you need different detail. You're strong at character physicality, social micro-expressions, grooming, and texture. What's thinner? Sound layering, smell, especially medicinal room chaos, spatial awareness, where is everyone in relation to each other? Environmental tone, is this a royal chamber, sick room, cluttered chaos? You don't need more description, you need grounding description. For example, is the air thick with herbs? Is the king sweating? Are windows open? Is the room hot from bodies? That kind of detail would anchor the chaos. Right now it floats slightly in white space. Overall evaluation, is it consistent? Yes. Tonally, it does what you intended. Is it well written? Yes, but your sentence discipline needs tightening for long-term stamina. Yeah. Where do you risk reader fatigue? Overlong sentences, sustained social noise without directional tension, repeated physical descriptors, too many simultaneous speakers. Do you need more detail? Not more grounding sensory anchors. The most important question, what is the real tension engine of this chapter? If the answer is the curse is spreading and no one understands it, or Garrett is watching Garth's legacy unravel in miniature, then you're on track. If the answer is I wanted something lighter, then you need to thread one quiet dagger beneath the laughter, because your strength is layered tragedy, and your world clearly wants to bleed under the comedy. If you'd like, next I can diagnose whether this chapter currently has a strong enough tension engine, or help you design the second read discomfort effect more precisely, or map the emotional arc of this chapter against the previous one. Your instincts are good, this just needs sharpening, not rebuilding. Okay, and that's what editing is for. I do these little check-ins to make sure that I'm on task. Meow! What time is it? I've been doing this for an hour. 6:48. Distracted. Bitcoin has failed. Shit. I don't think keeps going back and forth. I keep hoping it's gonna surge up one more time so I can at least sell my shit for profit. Mojo, are you harassing the cat? Or is the cat harassing you? Hi. Where's the bunny? Mojo. Mojo, where you at, dude? Meow. Mojo bunny. Hi, there you go, dude. Hi. You want a treat? You want a treat? You want a treat? Are you good, dude? You behave? Here, let me give you a biscuit. Meow. You want the litter box? Okay. You lock up the bunny. I assume you'll behave for at least a little bit there, Mom. Good boy. Good boy. You're back in the house. Yes, hi. Let's see. The function of this chapter is to seed suspicion, while adding a layer of levity. Soften tone before the poison reveal. Jocelyn, Elaine, Galen, and Hairball are some of my most ridiculous characters. Should be funny. Right now we are seeing the first indications of the curse Arista placed on Jocelyn. Odd habits and vast knowledge of dangerous things. Elaine's controlling nature without authority. Garth's inherited shame despite his boasting and bragging. Calm center of the chaos. Steadily realizing he must rise to tame it. Coerce or command in any way. Gregarious, who normally manages such foolishness with laughter, is too sick and weak to manage, still wants to indulge his grandchildren. Plain and gregarious too. Also, Corvin is the orc, or at least half orc. He is not in the room guarding the door outside. Good. This is structurally much stronger than you realize. You are not writing a funny filler chapter. You are writing a pressure chamber disguised as comedy. That's sophisticated. Let's analyze whether the mechanics are currently working for that goal. Does your chapter function as levity? Yes, conceptually, absolutely. Putting Blaine authoritative without authority. Jocelyn, performative charm, cracking. Galen, dangerously knowledgeable, eccentric, parable, ridiculous, gregarious, inherited insecurity. A bedridden king who should be managing this but cannot all in one room is inherently comedic chaos. The tone shift after a philosophical, intimate debate is correct craft. But here's the critical distinction. Levity must feel effortless. Right now it feels slightly intentional. Not forced, but arranged. True comic relief feels like it just happened. Yeah. You're very aware of what you're planting, which is good structurally, but the reader shouldn't feel that scaffolding. You're 80% there. Seeding suspicion. Is it working? Let's examine each thread. Jocelyn, first signs of curse, this works well. The fleeting smile falter, the rash creeping from under her dress, the scratching that's subtle enough on first read, on second read it becomes ominous. Good. What makes it especially effective is that it's embedded in pettiness and irritation, not melodrama. Keep that restraint. Galen, dangerous knowledge about absurd packaging. Or dangerous knowledge and absurd packaging. That's smart positioning. You're creating plausible deniability. If later poison is revealed, a substance is misidentified, or something accidentally administered, Galen becomes a red herring or a plausible vector, or both. However, right now we only hear that he's talking about fungi. If this is meant to seed suspicion, he may need one moment where his knowledge brushes too close to relevance. And that's coming. Not exposition, just proximity. Otherwise, he reads as color rather than misdirection. Garth. Inherited shame. This is the quietest and most important seed. You did something very good here. You didn't show Garth acting, you showed inheritance in the nephew. That makes the suspicion emotional rather than evidentiary. Gary isn't thinking my brother is guilty, he's thinking my brother is fractured. That's more tragic and more believable. This thread is working. Garrett, calm center, realizing he must rise. This is where you are slightly underplaying your strength. You say this chapter shows his steady realization that he must rise to tame the chaos. Right now, in the prose, we've seen that arc implied, but not yet visible. We see him observing, assessing. We see him noticing, but we don't see the pivot. Even a subtle shift, like he stops watching and starts arranging. He interrupts, he redirects. It doesn't need to be grand. It needs to feel like the first reluctant step towards authority. Well, give me time. I'm still working towards that. Otherwise, the thematic continuity from the previous chapter risks feeling paused rather than evolving. Okay, so Garrett has to make some sort of an evolution. It can't just be like a realization at the end. I need to have him steadily rising in authority throughout this chapter. That's going to be my toughest nuance. Gregarious, the sick king. This is an excellent structural device. You've done something narratively powerful. The man who normally stabilizes chaos with laughter cannot. So the children overreach, the ambitious postures, the petty rivalries, the mismanagement, all bloom unchecked. This is symbolically clean, but make sure that the king's weakness is present enough to be felt. If he fades into the background, sick bed furniture, the metaphor weakens. He should feel like a sun dimming, not just a man coughing. Is there a risk of tonal undercutting? Yes, but it's manageable. The danger is this. If the room is too funny, the poison reveal will feel like a genre shift rather than escalation. Okay. Your advantage. You are already embedding unease, Jocelyn's skin, lean into subtle wrongness, slightly off timing, interruptions that feel just a little misaligned. That's how you create first read laughter, second read dread. Structural evaluation of the chapter's engine. Right now, the tension engine seems to be Garrett watching, signs of dysfunction, physical signs of curse, the absence of effective authority. That's good, but ask yourself, what is the directional pull? By the end of this chapter, what has shifted? Possibilities. Garrett decides to intervene. A symptom worsens. Someone says something accidentally revealing. Medicinal choice is wrong. If the chapter ends on the same energy level it begins, it will feel episodic. That's right. Episodic is fine if you're making like a series, like Rick and Morty, or I go right to Rick and Morty. Anything where the end result is the same as the beginning and nothing actually progresses story-wise. It needs escalation, not explosion, not escalation. About Corbin, half-orc guarding outside. Good clarification, have him outside does two things. It keeps physical order at the threshold. It emphasizes that chaos is internal, not external. That's symbolically sharp. The madness is not invading from outside. It is blooming inside the royal chamber. That's strong architecture. Final assessment. You are not struggling with concept. You are not struggling with character. Your only risks are underplaying Garrett's arc in this chapter. Okay. Allowing chaos to plateau instead of escalate. Letting suspicion remain atmospheric instead of slightly directional. Otherwise, this is a well-designed transitional chapter. It softens tones, layers misdirection, it deepens generational themes, it plants the curse quietly, it isolates the king. That's structurally sophisticated. If you'd like, next we can map the emotional trajectory of the chapter beat by beat or sharpen Garrett's internal pivot without increasing melodrama. Or design exactly how the poison reveal should echo back into this chapter on reread. You're writing something layered, now it just needs precision sharpening. Well, yeah. 777 words so far. I want to say this is at least a third of the way done with where this is going. I still got a bit more to do, but I'm to the point where I'm in the first like major bit, which is Jocelyn's curse. That's what I'm working on right now. And then we're going to center in on Belaine fussing over the king all by herself. So I think what I'm going to do with this section is I need to have Jocelyn take center stage for a little while as she tries to like flirt with Garrett. And as she's flirting, her curse, her itch, her rash, all of what she's going through gets steadily worse. And I can use the heat of the room and mention the windows not being closed. I can do more scene dressing and everything else. I can mention nerves. And then Galen on the bed talking about mushrooms and spores, and then slowly he starts to realize what's going on. Maybe have him wander over. Like, I'm thinking about my stage direction. Like, do I want Jocelyn to suddenly like go back and seize her husband and pull him forward? No. I want her to maintain this distance that she has, leaving Galen to look at his book on the bed with his father. And I meant to include that Galen still has his shoes on and they're on the bed and he just is oblivious to it. But I want Galen to break away and to wander over. Like, he senses something is wrong. He knows that he should step up and be a man about this and intercede and not let his wife continue to just sit and flirt in the same room as him with his brother. So he should wander over, but then say something that's totally unrelated. Like, distract with his talk of mushrooms. Like, he's still fixated on whatever he's dissociating in. And he needs to unintentionally mirror the poisoning. So, like, he's observed that his father is sick. He's got his own internal thoughts about it, but he can't, like, directly connect anything. And in doing so, we seed suspicion onto Galen, so it sounds like maybe he could be potentially responsible. And then I want those two to exit. Like, some kind of breaking point, some kind of frustration that causes Jocelyn to just pull him out of the room. Like, her itching gets to be so bad, or I think a combination of her itching and the rash being bad and her irritation with Galen, and then not really knowing which one irritates her more. I think that's my next beat. That's the next section that I'm going to write. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to feed my animals because it is 7 a.m. So I'm going to pause to do that because I'm an hour and a half in, and then maybe even eat myself. Not eat myself, but, eat something myself, finish my coffee, and then get back into it and try to write like the next 1/3 of this. Because like I said, I want this chapter done today. This should not be a difficult chapter. It's just when I have this many characters, it's a little exhausting for me. Like, it's a lot of voices in my head, a lot of moving parts. And then on top of the characters that I have in the room, I have the characters that are out of the room whose presence is felt. And I haven't even gotten to Parabol and Sathrael yet. So, yeah. I'm going to end the stream at an hour and a half. And then get back into it after the feeding is done. So, stop all. Goodbye Twitch, goodbye Kick, goodbye YouTube.